My name is Scott Austin. I was receiving charge report one morning on a few of my patients. One of my patients was on a heparin drip, and the PTT came back at around 5:30 in the morning, and in the report I was told that the drip was at 11.5 and that she had already put in the PTT for the next draw, and we proceeded with the report, and afterwards we went, done the bedside checks, and I went in and saw the drip at 10.5, and I was asked for clarification from the night charge nurse, and she was like, oh, she made a mistake, didn't change the drip from 11.5, it was 10.5, and she thought she had made the adjustment just to the PTT. Then she was under the assumption that she went back and changed the drip. So that was just one of the safety checks that we found, and fortunately the patient was only at that rate for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes or so. And so it's things like that doing the bedside reporting or the handoff of care at the bedside, just doing the minimal safety checks can really help, not only for heparin drips or insulin drips, but just general fluids on a daily basis as well.
With manager rounds of going through and asking patients, if they feel like they're informed and they feel like all their needs are getting met and their questions are getting answered, and then asking specifically about handoff of care. One very positive thing I've heard about handoff of care is that a patient once told me that she feels a lot less anxious at the change of shift, because a lot of times during that transition period she felt like she didn't really know who was taking care of her, so her anxiety level was a lot less based off the fact that the nurses were at the bedside together.
Okay.
I think the checklist is a really good thing. I think you guys did a great job of narrowing down the barriers and then really making a good checklist that addressed those barriers, and really to get to the basics of what the purpose of handoff at the bedside is.
I think the blue checklist at the beginning was very helpful, and now I think it's just come to be, it's a routine thing, and which is a good thing. Because at first, like anything that's new, anything with change, it's like, do we really have to do this? And once a few different people saw that, an example I just told you about, change does help, I think that it has definitely made a change in us. We were doing a few of those things, but I think by bringing that out more in the open for us to really say, oh, let's just do an extra 2 or 3 steps, I think it's really helped.
I think the more that nurses are doing it and being successful with it and realizing it's not as much of a big deal as they have it in their minds, that it's becoming more and more of a change in practice.